Oh, I had it under this account. Perf.
Alright, so I'm just going to tweet this now.
What?
I still can't get over the name they chose for this goddamn product. We'll get into that. Because, oh, I misread that when I first saw it.
Just read Labo. I can hear myself. My Twitch volume up.
That's that tweeting out. Okay.
Probably pop out the chat and close the stream proper so that I can moderate or semi-moderate without using bandwidth by watching the stream.
That is completely unnecessary.
Haven't.
I'm gonna pull up a web page here. I'm gonna pull up Nintendo UK's product site for this. So this thing removed the Wii U tab on the Nintendo UK site.
Yeah.
If you want any more?
I heard about that.
Go Switch, this, 3DS, Amiibo. So, Nintendo Labo.
Yeah, I'm just like, that, not necessary to point out.
No.
Like, at that point, they're just being annoying.
At that point, it's just, it's already discontinued, I guess.
Just in case you need reminding, the Wii U is dead. Did you know that? Because I think you should know that.
It's been dead since January 31st, 2017.
Know that, yeah.
Discontinued it. So we have Nintendo.
Personally, I'll still be developing for the Wii U until they formally say, yeah, we're officially opening the floodgates. Like anyone who wants to develop for the Switch can develop for the Switch. But until they actually do that, I'm gonna say you better be developing your game for the Wii U if you want to get it on a Nintendo system at all. Like this means if you want to get it on the Switch even.
Is the Variety Kit is PEGI rated 3, the Robot Kit is PEGI 7. Not sure why, but okay. So, Nintendo Labo. No one in their right mind would have seen this coming. Ever. Like I was thinking.
I kind of want to look around. I kind of want to look around and see if anyone had even predicted something close to it.
I figured it would be making something because they said it's an interactive experience specially crafted for kids. It's like, what do kids like to do? Make stuff. Obviously. You know,
yeah. And of course, they said experience, not game.
Well, there's software involved, but I was actually thinking something like Lego, because Nintendo has done that before, like decades ago. I was thinking they could do something like that again, but I didn't expect this. This is, I saw it and I was like, what? And then the trailer went on, and I kind of got it, and then I thought about it, and I looked it up, and I was like, that's brilliant. It's just cardboard.
Well, I had predicted something like two things. Both of them I private messaged them with you, but the second one I was just too excited about in the possibility that it could be real that I had to run out and make a video about it right away. The first one was, I believe, oversized Joy-Cons for buttons that kids could play with. And of course, they're still Joy-Cons, so adults could play with them too. So that's where the kids at heart bit would come in. The other thing was the possibility of it being a NVIDIA's connectivity, or NVIDIA's game sharing. And I had learned after posting that video, I had learned that the same tech. Actually, I shouldn't have said that I predicted it as NVIDIA's because I didn't know that NVIDIA had this capability until after I had posted that video. I thought maybe it was maybe they had just been generically looking at game sharing possibilities across NVIDIA's hardware and found a way to incorporate this low latency game sharing into the Switch, effectively turning any offline game into an online one. And then Labo, then I was absent for the actual trailer, but when I came back, I saw people talking about cardboard, and I knew like right away that this thing was so random it couldn't have been fake. It couldn't be just like something that someone made up and went viral. This had to be the real deal. Mm-hmm. And the next morning, which was a couple of hours ago, I actually woke up, looked at my Twitter feed, and people are still talking about it, looked up the actual trailer, and saw the possibilities that they had going with that right Joy-Con infrared camera.
Yeah, the IR camera. I was sat trying to work out like how would I use this in a game, and I was struggling because it's in a position where if you were using the Joy-Con in the grip or in handheld mode, it would kind of be useless.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, how would I use this without mandating a control scheme? It'd be like Resident Evil Revelations where it's optional. And I was like thinking, but you couldn't really do much with that anyway because it's on the bottom of the controller.
Yeah.
And then I see this and it's
like as
oh,
implementation, Nintendo clearly had an idea back then, and now is when they decided to unleash it.
I was thinking doing it now was a good idea. I'll get to that. But Labo is, the joke on the internet is it's just cardboard. It's like, well, it's more than cardboard. The price.
Of course, that's always the case. When Nintendo announces a new innovation, you have to, like, someone on the internet is just, they're going to make their life's goal to say it's just something and make that something sound as stupid as possible.
It's like when you buy the kits, it's what, $70 for the variety kit. So you get the cardboard to make the 5 different things, and you get the software, the game, that gives you the instructions on how to make it.
Of course, is the crux of the whole thing, yeah.
Because you can use the software to see how what you're doing works with the Joy-Cons and the Switch, the technology behind it, and you also get the games to play with them. So that's most of the cost. That's the way it is. You can also buy the software separately as its own thing, as just a game, and you don't even need the cardboard to play them.
Yeah, like if you don't want to run out to your local brick and mortar store, you can download the designs for free. You can buy the game from the eShop and just do it all yourself at home.
What are you doing? Oh, it's Daxter.
We have a guest.
You doing this now? Really?
Is she walking him across the floor?
No, she's carrying him. What does he want? Hello.
To be a pupper.
That's what he wants. He wants to shut up, is what he wants.
Okay.
Don't shut up for me. Come on, Batman.
Bag?
Yeah. I'm kind of impressed by this because it's. Oh, hey, Durfee. Nice to see you found the stream.
Yes.
Pull yourself away from Push Square for 20 minutes. They're talking about Red Faction over there. So Labo is just like this thing that I saw, and I was like, this is... So, deliberately, before they even revealed it, they said, this is for kids and kids at heart, which told me
and
immediately this is not for the core gamer.
I mean, really, I think everyone read into that, but some people just chose to say, oh, this is for the core gamer, and just so that they could be insulted by it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I went in knowing this is probably not going to be for me, or you, or my friends, or people I work with. This is going to be for the kids, as they said it would be.
This will be for your sister, for my nephew.
Let us know
in
advance. But then I saw it and I'm like, now I know why they said kids at heart, because I saw the giant robot and I was like, I need that. I want to dress up as a goddamn cardboard robot and punch things. But that's it, you see.
I wonder if that cardboard robot is going to be reviewed like any other game.
If you want to have your mind blown, that was revealed in 2015.
Yeah, Project Giant Robot. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm worried about. That's kind of what I'm worried about, that people are going to say, oh, this was Project Giant Robot, we're going to review it as if it was, as if they had promised, say, Zone of the Enders 3. Obviously, they're not aiming to be Zone of the Enders 3, but, it's going to get like a 3 out of 10 if they're going to review it like it.
You can buy the game on its own, you don't even need the cardboard, you can download the prints offline and make it out of whatever you want if you're talented enough. I can see Man-at-Arms going nuts with this. And make it out of full-on blooming cast iron and stuff. For a giant robot suit. I can see.
And he's got the muscle to swing that too.
Yeah, he does have the muscle to swing that. If he can swing the Great Fairies, or he can swing that. You can make it out whatever point. You don't need the cardboard. You can just buy replacement cardboard. You don't even need the cardboard they give you. You can just make it yourself out of whatever you have lying around if you have the stuff to do it and the creativity. And the cool thing is,
I'm thinking
to the people. When you're going through the instructions, you can see what it is that makes it work. Like the piano one, they showed this in the trailer very briefly. You can
In there.
see how the IR camera interacts with the piano. And I'm like, that's cool. That's teaching kids like basic engineering. But then I saw another one. It's the one with the man, the little cardboard man with the Joy-Con on his back. And there's two nodes on the touchscreen. One has touch, which is the input. One has vibrate, which is the function. And they draw a line between the two to make an if statement. And when they press touch, it activates the vibrate. And I was like,
Visual programming.
That is, and I will tell you now, there is nothing more gratifying and a way to get you into programming than your first if statement.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but there's, you know about the Raspberry Pi, right?
Yep.
The Raspberry Pi pack-in software comes with something called Scratch.
I know Scratch.
Scratch is a visual programming language that's gotten like kids into creating and crafting with the Pi, and Nintendo's getting their slice of the pie with that visual crafting language.
So apparently the basic stuff, like the little RC robots, take about 15 minutes to make. The piano takes about 2 hours. God knows how long the giant robot takes to make.
Well, the giant robot, when you look at it, it's that backpack.
It's a
That shows
a visor with a Joy-Con in it.
Yeah, and it has it has four reflective panels that effectively convey the positions of your hands and feet to the red Joy-Con.
Yeah, which is in the backpack, and it moves up and down on a line in your back when you move your arms or your feet. It moves the string. That's basically how it works.
I think those are bigger components and less complicated than the piano. The piano, you're going to have to craft every key individually.
True. Also, can I just say, I love the idea of calling these Toy-Con.
Derpy12 in the chat says, you think in a way this is AR Minecraft.
I'm gonna get to that because I can't use VR because of head injuries. I put a VR headset on, nosebleeds. You know, I can't. So in that way, I cannot be part of a video game. In that way, augmented reality I can do, but AR is like on phones, and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
When Microsoft
into
makes the HoloLens a thing, I'm there because
AR is more like you're looking into a window through a device into your video game.
yes, VR is you have the screen on your face, and you are technically in the video game, but without the feedback of being in the video game.
Yeah, VR is you have no connection to reality at all. You're not looking at the real world anymore. You're looking at the game world, and you have to be careful about where you move because you might knock a glass off your table or something.
Yeah. So this is as close to being in the game as I can get before AR takes off.
Yeah.
Like, this is as close to being a giant robot in the game as I can be without going out and playing that mech game for PSVR that I can't play because it'll screw with my head. And it's also VR for kids, really, isn't it? In a way. Because kids can't use VR helmets. Well, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, they didn't announce VR per se, did they?
No. There is no VR component to this. It's all cardboard, the Switch's screen, or your TV, and the Joy-Con.
Yeah, it's like that's actually another good thing that they pointed out for people who do want to, for adult crafters who want to get into this, is that you can there are games that you could play with the Switch docked. There are Labo games that you can play with the Switch docked, i.e. that giant robot game. Yeah. If that giant robot game does surprise me and actually ends up getting compared favorably to other giant robot games out there.
So I'm going to look at what's in the variety pack. So we have, also you can customize this stuff. You get a custom pack, and you can get like stickers, paint, stuff like that, just to customize your Toy-Cons. I love that name.
About swearing on your stream.
Yeah, I don't mind.
All right, so Derpy12 says, I still couldn't give 2 fucks for PSVR, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. And in my case, I couldn't give 2 fucks for PS anything.
Have a future. It's just not there yet. The technology itself is not in a way that consumers can adopt it freely.
Went to HD, once over 50% of the game playing audience had HD TVs, that's when Nintendo jumped in. But up till then, like PS3 and Xbox 360 were losing money trying to make these HD games that people couldn't read the text for on their standard definition TVs.
So
that would be the Sonic Racing games.
What do we have in the variety pack? Let's first one. So we have 5 different Toy-Cons. We have the RC car. So this is, you get on your screen, you have buttons for each HD rumble in each Joy-Con, and the Joy-Con just slot onto the side of this thing, and you activate the HD rumble to make it move forward, turn, do all that kind of stuff, and you can use the IR camera as a viewpoint from the robot's point of view. So if I wanted to find something under my bed, I could send this thing over there. That's pretty cool. That's just novel. I like that idea. Got the fishing rod.
Wait. Let me stop on the or the RC car for a second. You wait. Yeah, will it work on carpet? Did they demonstrate that?
I imagine it could work on a car.
Shakes and moves forward, or does it actually turn wheels?
It hasn't got wheels. It literally just moves through vibration.
Okay, it moves through vibration. So yeah, I'm wondering if it would work on carpet.
Who knows? The vibration could be pretty powerful in that thing.
Yes, maybe.
Like if you ever use your Switch to find where my Joy-Con is and it activates the HD rumble, that thing is loud.
And moving forward.
The fishing rod. So you have the right Joy-Con in the bottom, which seems to view a string that goes into a box behind the Switch, and you have a crank to obviously turn the fishing rod that rotates the other Joy-Con, which is how the system knows it's rotating.
Okay.
And where your wire is going down behind your screen in vertical mode is where it is in the fishing game. So that's pretty cool.
Hang on, so
there are some surprising mechanics in that as well from people who've tried it.
the string and the screen. Where does the string goes behind the screen and is projected into the screen?
Yeah.
So there's got to be a way to track the position of the string, right?
Yeah, that's probably why the IR camera is facing up the pole.
Okay, I see. All right.
You have a house where your Switch becomes a screen on the front of the house, and then stuff inside the house happens, and you can interact with it. And the IR camera in the chimney looks down and sees what accessory you're using in the house and tells the system what to do.
For Sims, for fans of The Sims, you've got that happening for you.
Oh, someone's going to mod it so you can set them on fire. Then we have the motorbike. So you get a little stand, you put the screen in, and then you have a throttle for...
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I remember seeing
and
it, yeah.
use gyro to turn that, yeah. And you also have 2 other accessories with the motorbike, I'm not entirely sure what those are. And then you've got the piano. Good lord, the piano. It uses reflective tape on the back of the keys, and the camera sees it, and it knows which ones you press, because each piece of tape is different. And it's like, this is nuts.
That one seems like it would be the easiest to understand, although also the most time-consuming to build.
It is apparently the most time-consuming to make. And there are little dials that change the pitch and tone. That's cool. Because that's...
You're guaranteed to see you're guaranteed to see like Twitter videos of people playing crazy stuff on that piano.
Yeah. And this is
people playing crazy stuff in Majora's Mask.
This is all through the gyroscopes and the IR camera.
12 says, reason people are peeved about this is you're spending 80 USD or whatever the price is in UK for cardboard.
And the game.
Yeah.
The game.
See, yeah, that's the part that they don't realize. You're paying the 80 USD for the game, and a game costs that much.
Yeah.
Almost nothing for the cardboard. The way the deco stickers, which can get pretty fancy.
Then we have the robot kit. So you get quite a lot of stuff. And it makes a backpack, a little visor that has the Joy-Con go in it. So the visor it has the left Joy-Con in it. So that appears to be a way of controlling the camera using your head. So that's kind of like VR. But that's the one that caught my eye because it's a giant robot.
Joy-Cons in your head, so it'll use motion control to control the camera in-game, which will project onto the TV, or which determines what gets rendered onto the TV screen.
And then the IR camera in the back determines what you're doing with your hands and feet.
That would definitely be more AR. It's it's definitely separate from VR because the problem with that particular implementation of AR is you're turning your head to the right, but turning your eyes to the left, and what you're seeing on the TV screen swivels to the right. It's very different from emulating actual movement, because in order for it to be VR, your eyes would have to be looking straight the entire time you're turning your head. Move to stay in front of you.
Derpy says 60 for the game, 20 for the cardboard. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because, cardboard is not cheap, believe it or not.
Well, cardboard that's supposed to last over time, like, if you want pizza box cardboard, yeah, that stuff is cheap. If you want Google cardboard, that stuff is actually pretty durable. It feels like it's coated with wax, but the wax doesn't wear off. It's a cardboard that's meant to be used, not a cardboard that's meant to carry one thing and then get thrown out.
It does say here kits do include the software, but you can buy the software separately. And we also get it a week later here in the UK, because it's on the 22nd of April instead of the 20th. Don't know why, but it does.
I can imagine a conflict right there, in the sense that someone could buy 3 kits, redundant pieces of software, which they paid a lot of money extra for. They probably, just like people who bought Conquest and Birthright in Fire Emblem Fates, they don't realize that you only need to buy one and get all the other stuff for free.
Yeah.
For free. Complaints bubbling up because of that. I mean, what would you do to prevent that kind of redundant?
I don't know.
Complaints be that bad? I could see I could see them having a policy where if you accidentally bought 2 kits and so you have an extra cartridge that's lying around, then send it back to us and we'll send you a refund.
So, one thing they've got here is a tab that said invent. When you know how the Toy-Con creators work, you can invent all sorts of different ways to play, and that's the one that's showing the programming one. So I wonder if you could make your own cardboard things and make your own kinds of games from it.
Is marijuana considered awkward in the UK?
Yes, it is legal.
Legal, you say?
Illegal.
I think it's still illegal in most of the US. There are just some states in which it isn't. But yeah, on the W12 in the chat says in the US it comes out on Weed Day, 420.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have a 20th month, so it doesn't make sense over here.
Yeah, in the UK you don't get it on an awkward day.
So yeah, that's what it does. It's got lots of applications, and in the future, who knows what it could do. If this takes off, and I think it will, call it a hunch, it could take off. But thing is, we're gonna jump back to it's for kids and kids at heart. I saw the giant robot, and that's just my inner 5-year-old losing their precious little mind.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of adults getting into that.
Endlessly.
Adults getting into the giant robot game. But I could also imagine, I'd say maybe about half of those adults getting bored of it within the first couple of plays, and then getting mad about getting bored of it in the last couple of days.
Now here's the thing. So I saw comments, and Derpy will know where I saw these comments, that this is Nintendo being Nintendo, and you couldn't even have 1 year of the Nintendo Switch about them Nintendoing up. And my immediate response to this was, guys, this does not invalidate everything that has happened to the Nintendo Switch. Breath of the Wild is still there. Mario Odyssey still exists.
You're still not going to play Bayonetta on any other console. Yeah.
That mini direct we got last week still shows all the games that are coming, all the games for the core gaming audience, the main demographic of the Switch. That is the Switch's main thing. Those ads will still happen, those games will still come. Metroid Prime 4 doesn't suddenly not exist. This is just like PlayLink on PS4, where you play games with your phone, with your family, or
No, it would be fun though. If Nintendo Labo and you also have Bayonetta 3, then you could download a cardboard kit to build a 1/7 scale figure of Bayonetta.
It's like, this is the same as PlayLink is on PS4, where it is a thing for the more casual gamer, the kids, to use their phones, to play games on the PS4, to use the PS4 to play different kinds of games from the core audience. But that does not mean the PS4 does not have all these core games, because it does.
I mean, like, nobody's even acknowledging the PlayLink.
Yeah, exactly.
Consider it, maybe they just consider it an embarrassment or something, so they try to bury it. Like, oh no, Sony's trying to Nintendo it up.
Well, here's the thing, that you have your system. It has the core gaming demographic, which is core games that are on PS4, Xbox One, PC, Switch. You know, that will always be the main demographic. This is, you know, we're nearly a year into the Switch. This is a side thing for people who maybe don't play games or who are creative in an educational
I think they actually even said specifically people who don't play games, people who aren't into games.
could play
In the announcements leading up to in the announcements leading up to Nintendo Labo.
But there's the thing, like PlayLink, this is just using the hardware in a different way for different kinds of experiences, separate from the core gaming, but doesn't detract from the core gaming experience. It is its own thing on the side that uses the system in a different way, which is perfectly fine.
Something that Nintendo's done since the Game Boy. They had, I don't remember whether this was actually Nintendo or a third party, but there was a device called the Work Boy, which turns your Game Boy into a... It had a word processor. It had, I think, like standard office tools like word processor, spreadsheet, database, that kind of thing. Like a bunch of little office tools, and even came with a keyboard.
Yeah, this is not unusual for companies to do, because, again, like PlayLink, like HoloLens, like VR, use the hardware in different ways for different kinds of experiences for different demographics to supplement that main core gaming audience. You know, we're still getting Dark Souls, people. Okay.
The thing that a lot of even core gamers will clamor for a sequel to that isn't a game. Mario Paint.
Oh yeah, Mario Paint.
Lots of like non-game stuff that core gamers will acknowledge that, I mean, like, they have no business complaining about because of Nintendo Labo. It's complaining about Nintendo Labo because of this.
But this is...
If they try to, they're going to seem like gigantic hypocrites.
You know, some people are saying, oh, this is going to fail. And it's like, no, there's a market for this. Evidently. It exists.
Yeah. And I mean...
So, maybe it's just a few
They
million
say-
people. That's a few million people who don't play games that will buy a Switch for this.
I would say
different
that
kind of
even if
experience.
Nintendo Labo does fail, all that they've lost is an investment in some cardboard. Let's
And
say
a bit
1
of
or 2
software.
million kits of cardboard. Yeah, and some software. The thing they'd have lost is Project Giant Robot.
You know, it's not like an entire system failing. No, this is a different way of using an existing system.
And that's the thing, like, Nintendo can weather, like, what was it, 50 years of
50 years of failure.
a system failing, of absolute failure until they're actually in any trouble. Experiment a lot. And I really hope they do experiment a lot.
I'm just impressed that this is what the system can do. And yeah, he got the video revealing the Nintendo Labo got 3
Million views in one
views
day.
in a day. And it's like, there's a market for this, people. I know core gamers are going to ridicule it, but it's also not
Yeah.
for core
I
gamers.
mean, yeah,
and
like,
nor does it take
I'll
away
say-
from core gamers.
I'd be generous to say that 1 million of those views are people who spite viewed it, hate it, or viewed it just to hate on it, just to find seeds of doubt that they could plant.
It's just, I like the idea. But the thing that got me the most about the internet was people reacting like, this is going to take away from what the Switch has been for the past year. It's like, no, it doesn't.
If anything, yeah.
It just adds to it. It adds a new demographic. This isn't like the Wii, where the Wii was first a casual system, and then got stuff like Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And even at the end of the cycle, there are developers that are showing off like, hey, these third parties said that their game wouldn't work on the Wii. We made a prototype in a week of this hardcore game, and it works better than it did on its native console.
You know, this is a core gaming system at its root, just by design. This is just a way of adding something to it. And if it does fail, it fails. You know, Labo will be a footnote in Nintendo's toy maker history, because believe it or not, they make toys. You know, it will. You know, if it doesn't blow up like Amiibo did, then fine. You know,
Actually,
this could go the way of the AR cards on 3DS. Do you remember those?
I've got to actually kind of disagree with the whole Nintendo makes toys thing because of certain like trending toys that Nintendo hasn't bothered with, i.e., fidget spinners and fidget cubes and stuff.
Well,
I mean, you
Nintendo
could
used to
argue
make
that you could argue that their controllers are kind of fidget cubes in the sense that, like, right now I have an 8-bit do gamepad in my hands just because it's nice to just do anything. But it's modeled after the original SNES controller. And, like, I've never felt the need to get fidget spinners or fidget cubes because I have game controllers everywhere. If I need my hands to be busy, I could pick up one of the myriad game controllers that are lying around and play around with that.
This is just another way of using the system to attract a different market. The system itself
To attract more people, really.
You know, the Wii. The biggest problem with the Wii was it was designed to attract non-gamers first. The Switch,
The elderly, the
fitness
obsessed people.
stuff like that. The people who bought one game and it became a dust collector.
Yeah.
The Switch is a core gaming system first, and then there is stuff they can do with that technology to pull in other people.
Derpy12 says, actually, there are fidget spinners based on Nintendo IPs, but I think they're merely licensed, not from Nintendo themselves. And yeah, I've seen items like that that seem like knockoffs, but they're sold in big name stores. It's like there's a candy called Super Mario 3Ds that came out around the time of Mario 3D World, and they seem like a knockoff, but you know they have the official name there, official licensing, and they're sold at Walmart. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I wasn't curious enough to actually buy them or try them, but it was interesting to see them there. And I guess that's kind of the case with fidget spinners, too.
You know, if I have the money at the time, I'm going to get this. I'm going to build it with my sister. I'm going to play some games in cardboard. You know, this is...
Yeah. Are you going to live stream it?
Probably. I mean, who wants to see me dress up as a giant robot?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... You know, it's childish, but it's a good idea.
To me, nothing is particularly. To me, nothing is childish. It's really hard to. And if you're doing something interesting, something educational, then it's for acting childish, especially if there's an actual child watching you and that child is learning something that, you know, engineering, programming, whatever, that they'll use later in life.
Oh.
So it would be your younger sister. In my case, it would be probably be my nephew. My nephew is currently too young to probably even comprehend much about video games and stuff, but learn some surprising things.
So I'm just gonna, because I'm on the Nintendo UK website, right? I mean, here's the thing. Durfee says it best. I like the idea, but I'm not getting it because it's not for you. No, it's not for you. You just let it live. You know, PlayLink is not for me because why would I play games on my phone if I've got a PS4 sat right there? Okay.
The thing is, like, games like Bayonetta and Ninja Gaiden, those are for me. But, you know, I'll try out, like, there's a lot of games like Mario Party. That's not for me. That's, you know, there's too much randomness. It's great if you're, you know, drunk or at a party or something. But for me, I need something that's more esoteric, that's more complicated. You know, Dark Souls Remastered? Yeah, I'll get that on my Switch.
Yeah. 3,
I'm getting that on my Switch. Like, I have just about every core game on the Wii U, which adds up to about, I'd say about half my collection, which is 200 games total. 100 of them are core games. I'll ignore them, but they're there in my collection to prove that they're
the games page on the Nintendo Switch part of the website, and the first thing it shows up is Skyrim. Is that you cannot tell me this is not a core gamer system when the first thing on the website is Skyrim. And then Xenoblade, and then Zelda, ARMS, LA Noir, FIFA 18, Rocket League, Doom, Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Tournament, Fire Emblem Warriors, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 1, 2 Switch. It's like, that is a lot of games.
I mean, a tangent here about how I don't really consider Skyrim a core game, but you know, again, I've already mentioned that I'm into esoteric battle systems, and you could probably guess from there where I'm going.
Well, when I say core game, I mean it is a game for people who play games.
Yeah.
You know, Dark Souls is what I would call a core game. That is a game specifically for people who play games as a hobby.
Check that out. Like, I hear it's, you know, they say it's hard, but what do they mean by hard? Do they mean esoteric battle system, or do they just mean you die a lot?
I think they're doing you die a lot. You learn and then you get better.
Guy type hard, which, you know, that's the kind of game that a lot of people play. I don't like. Again, interesting idea, but not for me. Dark Souls, I'm probably going to check. I'm going to give it at least one chance.
Nintendo Labo is, you know, make, play, discover, as the slogan is. You know, it is a thing for the Switch to pull more people in.
Labo seems like something that's cheap enough, like being that it is standard game price. I might download the eShop game and try out the giant robot kit by building it out of whatever cardboard I have lying around. More than I need. But yeah, that on a month where I have a lot more money, that a lot more disposable income that I can play around with, I'll give it a try. It's not targeted at me. It's not for me. Most of the time, I'm going to be playing those battle games.
It's actually, there are a few points I've been out.
Jeez.
Dreams is a upcoming PS4 game that is where you kind of make your own experiences.
Game Maker?
Kind of, in a way. It's weird. It hasn't really been very well explained, but it's kind of a way of making your own kind of experiences and then sharing them online. Like Little Big Planet had that level creator. This has something that you create your own interactive experiences on the PS4. You know, this is kind of that in
Visual programming kind of thing? Or,
Well, it's a game that also kind of dropped off the radar for 3 years, so I haven't really been catching up on it. It'll be shown off this E3, I know that.
there was
It's
that...
coming out this year.
Yeah. It reminds me of that thing that Microsoft showed off with the really mangled up Conker.
We don't talk about that. we pretend that didn't happen.
Bad time to take a sip of coffee.
But yeah, that's Nintendo Labo. I like the idea. I'm going to try it out. Why not? But people need to kind of get this in their head. If it's not for you, that doesn't mean it's a bad idea. Because that's one thing that I keep seeing. It's like, it's not for me. This is a bad idea. This is stupid. This is gimmicky. This is not for you.
Like this is the kind of
deliberately marketed at a
halitosis
completely
marketing.
different demographic.
This is the kind of like halitosis marketing or anti-marketing that I've seen for the past 20 years that developed the audience that you see on the PlayStation. Is that they like something they like PlayStation by default because they hate everything else so much. So they found a reason to hate Nintendo Labo and more solidly concrete their alliance towards everything that is not Nintendo. From where I can gather, that's where most of the negative attention for Labo is. It's like, oh, you're paying $80 for cardboard. I don't care if that's false, but that's something that I'm going to hold on to so that I can like this other thing.
Dreams will be niche. Yeah, that is not a gamer's game. That is an experience, which is kind of what this is.
So I don't know. It's probably going to take another 20 years. Reality is going to be untaught from people, if it is at all.
Oh, this is the best post I've seen. There's a rumor Nintendo misunderstood the concept of loot boxes. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, that's
Make loot from box.
you literally make
Accent.
stuff out of the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Labo.
Nintendo Russia.
Nintendo Russia.
Make from box. What is misunderstand?
I mean, I like the idea. I'm going to try it out. Because that's this, you know, when the inner 5-year-old in me lights up like a Christmas tree. You know, that's it. You know, 27th of April's going to come out and I'm going to be sat there waiting for the post to deliver my cardboard giant robot.
This is what I want to, like, I'd like to see the internet tides, what Derpy's saying in the chat here. Like, by the way, I love how people will attack Nintendo Labo but not attack PlayLink.
They serve the same
I'm like,
purpose.
yeah, like, have the internet audience attack PlayLink.
You know, they serve the same purpose, the same audience. They just do it in different ways with different goals. They serve to get non-gamers on your system
Mm-hmm.
by playing different kinds of games. That, you know, one is using your phone,
There's no
which is something
denying.
everybody has,
Yeah.
and the other is
And there's no
making
denying that. Yeah, and there's no denying that Labo is, if not a game, a small collection of games.
which is what PlayLink is.
Games with non-game experience, yeah. Games with non-game experiences attached.
Mhm.
And that is
That are
what,
more accessible.
like, the non-games don't make the games non-games, because there are lots of, like, RPGs have mini-games, and a lot of things that just, by themselves, aren't games.
Do you guys want to play Triple Strat? No.
Like, these days, it's kind of expected that if you're going to buy an RPG, it has at least one mini-game involved.
Mhm.
Like, it's complicated and long enough that you have to break up the monotony of playing one game with a mini-game or a series of mini-games in it.
Okay, I think we don't really have much more to say, except, for God's sake, just let it be a thing. Just let them do what they do.
Yeah, like, if you want to attack something, if you want to attack this kind of idea, then attack PlayLink, because they did it first and they failed much harder at it.
Attack the iToy on the PS2. You know, that was a similar thing, similar idea behind it. Attack Wii Fit. Attack, you know. Yes, the idea of playing with cardboard is a bit insane. But, you know, ask a kid at Christmas, what do they like more? The present
These days,
it came in.
if you want to attack something, attack PlayLink.
Okay, real stuff. Just to end this off. My little sister plays in a massive cardboard box. She's 7. Why don't I just buy her loads of cardboard boxes to play games with? Like, you know, it works.
Yeah.
That's real. It comes out a month before Dark Souls. So I will have whatever Nintendo releases.
Something to do while waiting.
Kirby in March. Dark Souls and Donkey Kong in May. And something in the middle. You know, this is a nice distraction.
Yeah. For me, it's going to probably be going back to working on getting those platinums, those platinum statues in Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Wii U. Finishing Xenoblade 1 and 2 by the time Dark Souls comes out. Xenoblade 1 and X by the time Dark Souls comes out.
So, I am very happy with this. This went well for our first ever discussion. It's not like the podcast that will be on. I don't know when I'm scheduling that for. But this went well. I liked it. Fun. And you know, it just so happened that on the same day YouTube decided to spur me into changing how things work, Nintendo also gave me something to start the process.
Spur you into it. Yeah.
So thank you, Nintendo. You made a bad situation
From
worse.
two different sides.
Yeah, this is fun.
Derpy12 says, heck, I know a content creator who was bitching about Nintendo Labo, but everyone knows this guy is going to play it.
Oh yeah, people are
Imagine
talking
a
about
couple of
people are at
famous-
least somewhat intrigued. They're talking about it.
Couple of famous names with that kind of attitude, where they'll hate on it at first and then they'll play it, and some of them will play it just to find more reasons to hate on it. But who knows?
At least
Maybe some of their,
shot.
or at least even if they are playing it to find reasons to hate on it, their audiences, than that.
You know, if they play it and don't like it, cool. You at least tried it. You know, that's always going to be my stance. No, he's like, you can't say if you don't like something until you try it.
Yeah, but
how
that
I
leads to
was brought
people. That leads to people like playing stuff or you know trying stuff entirely with the mindset like not to actually give it an honest try, but just to say they tried it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So,
If there's something that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like or that I don't like for peripheral reasons, I'll try not to give it any attention at all, like positive or negative, just because, you know, it wouldn't be qualified.
mm-hmm.
that's I think we basically covered everything.
So that is pretty much everything, yeah. Because we don't have much.
Like regarding Nintendo Labo, all we can do is wait for the
More
second
information.
wave of games to start.
More
Like
information,
the first,
the release,
Yeah,
see how the
more-
games play, and then see what
we've got an idea. I think they did a pretty good idea of conveying how this first wave of Toy Cons, how this first wave of Toy Cons will be as an experience. All we can wait for is to see what the community creates in that in that freeform creator mode.
Yeah.
It's like what the second wave is going to be influenced by how people react to the first wave. So, waiting to see what they do for a second wave is going to be interesting.
Well, this was nice. We're talking about cardboard.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be talking about plastic games.
Cardboard. First thing I think of is Google Cardboard.
Yeah.
A decent amount of fun with that. I still have my Google Cardboard by my bed so that I can look straight up at the ceiling and watch my YouTube videos, watch my Watch Later playlist.
Not a bad idea.
I can't like or dislike videos or type comments or anything, but if I just want to go through my Watch Later playlist, I can just lie down comfortably, stare at the ceiling, and watch videos as if I'm watching them on a huge projector, just by watching them on my phone through Cardboard.
Hey, there will be another direct soon, which will be focused on games.
There's always another direct, but I have games to get through, or more specifically, right now I just have Xenoblade 2. No, I just have Xenoblade 2 to get through, and well, whatever else is on my Switch. But
I want Nintendo to slow the hell down because I've got games I've yet to buy that I want to buy.
That leads. There's two topics that I want to get to, but they'll be way off topic for this episode. We might have to leave it for a future thing.
Yeah, we
Forget
can leave
though.
it for the future podcast at the end of the week. Okay, so that is Nintendo Labo. Labo depends on your accent. I think it is meant to be Labo.
Sorry.
Yeah, laboratory. So thank you for watching this first ever episode of Behind the Game.
Yeah.
Impressions, I guess, even though we haven't had hands-on time. Discussion about the reveal of this exciting new set of boxes. I mean, it's so easy to be derogatory about it, but you're not wrong. Oh well.